Ebenezer Zane was born on October 7th, 1747, in Virginia, to William Andrew Zane and Nancy Ann Nolan. The second of six siblings, he would go on to become a pioneer, a soldier, and a politician. He and his brothers Silas and Jonathan crossed the Appalachian Mountains against the royal decree to create the settlement of Zanesburg at the mouth of Wheeling Creek along the Ohio River. Under Major Angus MacDonald, the Zanes would help establish Fort Fincastle, joining the militia in 1774 for Dunmore's War. In 1776, Patrick Henry's militia forced Lord Dunmore, who was the British Virginia governor and Viscount of Fincastle, out of Williamsburg. In honor of this, Fort Fincastle was renamed to Fort Henry. During the American Revolution, Fort Henry was besieged twice, first by British-aligned Native Americans in 1777, then again in 1782 by a coalition of Native Americans accompanied by 40 British troops. The defenders ran so low on gunpowder that Ebenezer's younger sister Elizabeth had to run to gather more from his house. Ebenezer Zane petitioned Congress in 1796 for permission to make a trail through the Northwest Territory, in exchange for the right to purchase land where his passage would cross the Muskingum, Hocking, and Scioto rivers. Zane already owned and operated a ferry across the Ohio River at Fort Henry. With congressional approval received, Zane set out accompanied by his younger brother Jonathan Zane, his son-in-law John McIntyre, and Native American guide Tome Hala. Over the next 2 years, Zane's trace would connect Fort Henry, Virginia, to the town of Maysville, Kentucky, which had been established in 1787 by Simon Kenton and Daniel Boone at the mouth of Limestone Creek. The city of Zanesville, established in 1801, was built upon the confluence of the Muskingum and Licking rivers. Ebenezer gave the land to his brother and son-in-law, who platted the land to begin the development. Travel across the Muskingum was originally done by ferries run by William McCulloch and Henry Crooks to the small town of Putnam. A bridge connecting the two was completed in 1813. Zanesville hosts an annual Zane's Trace commemoration event in June. Ebenezer Zane kept his tract along the Hocking River, plotting it himself and then having his sons Noah and John Zane sell the properties. In 1801, the town of New Lancaster was founded before changing its name to Lancaster in 1805. The Ohio historical marker for Zane's Trace is in eastern Lancaster, and the Fairfield County District Library at 219 North Broad Street has a map following the trace through Fairfield County. The city of Chillicothe was developed in 1795 on the western bank of the Scioto River at its confluence with the Paint Creek. Zane's plot of land along the Scioto was thus sold off in 1804 because of the already existing settlement. In 1806, the National Road was signed into existence, connecting the East Coast to the Ohio River at Wheeling, Virginia. Expansion through the 1820s and 30s carried the road into Ohio, reaching Zanesville in 1833 using Zane's Trace. The National Road then separated from the trace, extending westward towards Columbus in 1840 and beyond. The National Road remained a key route from the Atlantic to the Midwest, especially with the advent of automobiles. Improvements and growth abounded. A marker just west of Brownsville celebrated the first concrete segment of the National Road, having bridged Zanesville and Hebron in 1914. Nationwide road networks led to realignment and improvements of the route, first in the National Old Trails Road connecting New York City to San Francisco, and then as US 40 connecting Atlantic City to Park City, Utah. The interstate highway system was created in 1956, and Interstate 70 was constructed following US 40 from Baltimore to Colorado. There are some drivable sections of the old Zanes Trace around Muskingum County, as East Wheeling Road and Old Wheeling Road near Zanesville Airport. Traveling the route, as well as its successors, one can see how improvements in technology have made life and travel easier in the 230 years since Ebenezer Zane petitioned the United States Congress.